show you a little video of some of my flower beds and around our little homestead here. It's the first full week of summer officially now. This is like my wildflower bed. I have several flower beds, probably way too many actually, because, well, I don't think I have too many. It just gives me something to do, keeps me busy. Last year in May we had this big maple tree cut down because it was ready to die. It was either going to fall on the church next door to us or on our house. So we decided to have it cut down, but it sure did take away a lot of the shade we have around our house. And so this year I planted all kinds of sunflowers and other little flowers. There's a couple squash plants there, all kinds of good stuff. Looking up here is the garden. Yeah, it's kind of big. It's a lot bigger than that. It goes further down than an L shape, but right up here is some strawberries and rhubarbs in this area right here. Got lots of strawberries out of there, and oh my, lots and lots of rhubarb this year. And then I have this flower bed. Oh, there's some hollyhocks, sunflowers, morning glories wrapping their way up there. And there's the only flowers I bought were these little ones that have the burgundy colored blooms on them. And my daughter got me that one and that one there for Mother's Day. But no, she got me that one right there and that one right there for Mother's Day. This one came up from last year. And then I got some bachelor buttons, and then over here where my squash are, I have some marigolds I planted from seeds. I think those are zinnias, those little ones coming up. This is our asparagus bed. We already harvested everything out of it, and then we need to weedy where it ends down there where the weeds start. And then here's some more. We've got cucumbers in here. We've got all kinds of squash. All these squash plants were volunteers during the winter months when the squash would start to rot and stuff. I had a little place down by my front of my house where I would throw them. And well, knowing that later in the spring I would get squash plants, and I did. Then we had some tomatoes and more potatoes, peppers, peas, more tomatoes there. That's our garlic. I don't know how it got all knocked over. Maybe my husband, I'm not sure. And then we've got corn right in there. That wire stuff is the only way my husband can keep all the crows and birds from getting his corn seed. For years before, we would fight the birds so bad we'd hardly get anything, and this year he was determined, so he bought this, and it has made a difference. We've got earlier corn, and corn we just planted about 2 weeks ago and stuff, so that's doing good. And then over in here is our orchard. Sad to say that most of the fruit trees in the orchard this year, oh, they were so full of blossoms and beautiful blooms. And then heavy rains came and knocked all the blossoms off. We have fruit on our blueberry bushes. We have 6 blueberry bushes, but that's about it. And then this apple tree right here has some apples, and this one right up there has some. But then we have 3 more apple trees that are pretty much loaded. They are later in the summer apples, and they're pretty good for applesauce, things like that. So I'm looking forward to doing that this year. Okay, I'll just go on down here just a little bit. We'll walk through the garden. How's that? We'll walk through, and I'll show you some. We were trying, and we have been trying for the last couple years, some back to Eden gardening to see how that is, and we really like it. Hopefully next year we can incorporate more. We're able to get piles of compost, for $5 a trailer load, and that's my husband's trailer, so that's really good. And the mulch was the same price, so that's really good. Up here we have some Swiss chard, okay, some potatoes, onions, broccoli, kale, and peas. What is this? Cauliflower. Some more of our lettuce. We have more lettuce, and there's a volunteer squash growing in there. Some green beans, and more pickles right up in that corner, and more onions over there. We've pulled a lot of them and eaten them. More potatoes, some more volunteer tomato plants. I know I transplanted over 30 to 40. Here's some more. There's two little ones right there. 30 to 40 volunteer tomato plants as well this year. I just love volunteer plants. They are so hardy. And our tomatoes are kind of in different stages this year, so that'll make it nice. Hopefully we'll be able to harvest a good bit during throughout the summer, and we won't just have one big harvest at one time. I like to just keep getting stuff. That's why we just replanted lettuce again and some spinach. And over here's another bed that we have. This one has cabbage, some more different kinds of lettuce, which we are eating this lettuce all the time. Like every other day we have a meal. And then some of the big leaves, I'll make like tuna salad or chicken salad and wrap it up in that and have a low, no carb meal, which is nice. More peas. And I think that's about it right here. We'll go over the other side and I'll show you the raised. I'll just go up here. What does husband have planted in here? I think that's more green beans. Yes, for sure. Tomatoes right here, up and through there. Green beans right here. We'll just go up here to a couple of the raised beds we have. Where my husband works, he's able to get all these big bends or whatever you want to call them. I don't know. So he gets these, and there's a squash. I think those are spaghetti squash. That's what he told me. And carrots, a tomato, 2 tomato plants I put in there, and the rest of those are spaghetti squash. Here are my beets, which is really, really good. And this we need to weed. Ugh. He had that fencing stuff over the corn until just last week when he put it over that corn when it came up. So I haven't gotten around to weeding that yet. So this is where I started weeding yesterday. Looks better, and now this is what I gotta do. I throw the weeds to the chickens, they love it. And then yesterday I transplanted some more squash plants up there and planted a couple more hills of different kinds. So that's pretty much the garden for now. We're going to till that part that's real green right there, because it goes all the way up to that sunflower you can see. And we're going to be planting some different kinds of beans. I think one kind is called orca, and the other kind might be our horticulture beans, which I can every year, usually, if we have enough. So I think that's pretty much going to finish up the garden tour. There's our oldest blueberry bush. That was there when we came, and the other 5 we added since we've been here. And we've never gotten any fruit off any of these fruit trees yet. The one in the back, the bigger one you can see at the top, that's a Washington or yellow cherry. And 1 year out of the 15 years that we've been here, we were able to harvest anything off that. We've sprayed it and done different things with organic sprays and stuff, but it keeps getting a blight, and the cherries will rot on it before we ever get to use them, or the birds get to them. So only 1 year since we've been here we ever got to harvest anything from them. And these smaller trees have only had like one piece of fruit or two on them prior to this year, and then we thought this is going to be wonderful. They had all these blossoms, and then those heavy rains came and beat all the blossoms off. I just can't imagine having to completely rely on what you get off your fruit trees or your land to sustain yourself. There'd be many years it'd be slim picking around here for us if that was the case. Okay, I'll just show you this fencing here is for our 5 goats. They go in there and graze. They're really good grazers, and they go over into the woods. We own a pretty good piece over there in the woods, and they eat a lot of that down too. I think you can see them over there in the field. And then we have chickens and ducks, and they're in their coop, staying where it's nice and shady now. Okay, thanks for coming along. I'll update you again soon. Bye.